Welcome to another episode of the Your Longevity Blueprint podcast. Today, my guest is Kelli Weber, who's a wife, mother, and child of God, a Jesus-loving free spirit with a heart to share knowledge she's learned and unlearned over the years. Her wellness journey started with a simple swap of mac and cheese and Johnson & Johnson bath wash. Now, deep dive is her middle name, questioning everything in all facets of life, helping others win in spaces that mean see here, I messed up. Helping others win in spaces that mean most to them is how she defines success. Adding olive tree people to her resume last year was a decision that was a beautiful leap of faith. Kelli quickly went to the highest ranks within olive tree people, Black Olive Star, with hundreds sharing bioactive wellness. Kelli wears many hats: mother, designer, mentor, friend, and advocate. She believes in creating layers of life. From wellness to designer, she has woven together all her favorite parts of life, from travel to art. She continues to peel back the layers of how God designed us to live and thrive while creating a foundation of freedom for her family. Her goal is building foundational, repeatable, daily actions that compound in business, creativity, and wellness, modeling the actions of creating a life outside of the box society has designed. So that was so beautiful. Welcome to the show, Kelli.
Hello, friend. How are you?
Quite the bio there. And it really
Thank
describes
you.
you. It just really describes you. So very well written.
Thank you
So
so much.
just to introduce you to my listeners. So I think I first met you through Beautycounter. I honestly don't know, but I'm assuming that's how I
Yeah,
first met
yeah.
you years ago. And you were
hmm
my upline then, very, very helpful. And so obviously having a business where I help patients build health involves removing toxins, including those in their personal care products. So I needed to find skincare back then that was very safe, that I was confident to recommend. And Beautycounter was a great option for us for years until recently, because Beautycounter is no more. And so obviously I needed to find another safer alternative for my patients. And that's again where you came in and have been so helpful. So just to clarify for our listeners, because I know what they're thinking, like for patients who truly want a peptide laden, anti-aging skincare, we do carry Young Goose, and I've had podcast episodes on that, and I adore that. But not everybody wants that price tag. A lot of patients want different options, and so I wanted to bring on more than one option to the clinic. So Olive Tree is another option, which honestly was a great transition for Beautycounter, followers, whatnot, to transition to their line. And I think it's a very safe, high quality brand, and also in most of my patients' price range. So that's what today's episode is about, is this new company. A lot of people have heard about it, seen it on social media, and you're going to get a lot of details, juicy details from Kelli today. So I'm going to turn the mic over to you, Kelli. But
Love it.
their claim to fame is waterless beauty, and I want to ask what the heck that means. That really differentiates this company. But before we get to that, which is really the highlight of this episode, I want you to tell me how you came to love olive tree products. Like ultimately, you've been in this direct retail space for over a decade. I mean, since I've known you. So tell me kind of first why you got into this industry, and you've stayed in this industry all this time, and why you said yes to olive tree people and what made it different. So first, why you got into this industry.
I love it. I love it. The backup, right? We're backing up to 12 plus years ago. And like you said in my bio, it started off with children and it started off with doing better for them. And so, just like a lot of other moms out there, the first thing was food dyes or the yellow in our bath wash. And it started I became educated on what that could do to their bodies, to my bodies. Hormone disruptors came into the conversation, and I started looking for safe swaps. And I think that that's something that you have promoted and really
Yeah.
have, that's something that your listeners understand about creating layers to this longevity lifestyle that we're creating. And so from there, I learned about Beautycounter, and they were such a great educational space and platform where they offered not only safe products, but they were educating women on what safer is. And so that meant a lot to me
Hmm.
to know that and share that. I'm a big believer in if you know better, you should do better, and you should
Yep.
absolutely share it. So, because of their model, I was able to share it, said yes to that, and wanted to empower women to say yes to sharing their story and their solutions to their circle of mothers, to their people at the workspace, to their friends and family and loved ones. And so over the years, like you said, um, 10 plus years ago, that's what we did. And I think that direct retail space from a company perspective is so valuable to women because it gives us the opportunity to learn to take everything that we've learned from you and our practitioners and the bits and pieces we've learned on our wellness journeys to be able to pass it on. So that was kind of how I got into the space, why I stayed in the space, and why I stayed in the space, and why so many pick it up. It's another leg of income. It's another way to connect with women. It's another bucket filler, and so I
Another
really
community too. My one of my last podcasts was really just on community,
absolutely.
and this is almost, it's not almost, it is a whole nother community.
It is a whole nother community. And then when you're with those like-minded individuals within that community, sharing and thriving and just sharing your testimonies of how you came to this, it always opens the door to more and to more solutions. So how I found Olive Tree People was I've been with them for 1 year now, just over 1 year, and just a little over 1 year ago, I started seeing the words waterless. Those were words I had never seen in the beauty space before.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I didn't know what they meant. I didn't know what that was. And so I started peeking into it. And what I found out is, what is waterless? That's the burning question, right? Waterless means in Olive Tree People products, water is not present as the first ingredient. And so what that means is, I'll put my hands up, like pretend me putting my hands up. In conventional skincare, water is present up to 70% in most products, from drugstore to high end, from a $5 cream to a $400 cream. Why? Because that helps mix the product. It's a filler essentially. And so with Olive Tree People, we take out that water that is present in our products and we replace it with bioactive ingredients. When I found that out, immediately my brain went, value add. What have I been using if water was present? And what was I not getting in my bottles that I spent a lot of money on? And so that really piqued my curiosity. And so as I dug into it, as I hopped on the website, which is such a beautiful resource, within their link of our uniqueness, they tell the story of how they discovered the power of the olive leaf elixir, hydroxytyrosol. And that component is what makes up the base of our products. And because that element in it is in our products, it does not need a stabilizer like conventional products that use water need. So you delete the use of harsh stabilizers, what you need to keep it shelf stable, to
Preservatives, yeah.
preservatives, and all of that is so harsh to the microbiome of our skin, to our skin barrier. So immediately I learned three things. A, if water is present in your products, not only are you not getting 100% active ingredients, but it could be packed with ingredients that are harming your skin barrier, even if the product is clean, even if the product is organic. And so that really was a bell to me. And then when I learned about the power of the olive leaf elixir inside and outside of our body, that was like mind blowing. It
Spend time
packed,
here. Yes, share all that. Share
yeah,
the juicy deets.
absolutely.
Yeah.
The juicy deets. I love it. And we'll get into it. And that's where our conversation started with us, because I said hydroxytyrosol and you say, I know hydroxytyrosol. That is one of those bioactive ingredients, and it is the elixir from pressing olive olive leaves, the olive tree leaf, not olive oil,
Oil.
olives, olive tree leaf. And that antioxidant is 3,000 times more powerful than olive oil. It is packed with polyphenols. It is packed with anti-inflammatory properties. And you could full stop there with all the benefits, because you know that when inflammation is present,
Mhm.
that is the culprit of so much. And so this immediately turned me on to having products that were 100% bioactive. And that language resonated with me. That idea resonated with me. That biohacking, that polyphenols from the earth, all of that. And it became something I was super curious about. So I dug in. I actually got on a call with the founder, Thomas Lamel. He is so gracious, and his story is phenomenal because
Please share that
olive
too. I'm
tree
like,
peel.
tell me everything. Tell our listeners
Yeah.
everything. Yeah.
Like, let's go
I've heard
back
his
to the
story also,
beginning,
but
right?
please, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and his story was so great. This is a European company based in Germany 22 years ago, and so it started with him, and he had health concerns, and he was trying to find answers. He was trying to find healing. And so he was working with a woman who gave him kind of the first look to the olive leaf elixir, like literally mashing up olive leaves and drinking it, right? I mean, that basic. And he started healing. And his whole story is on the website too. So you can go in there and dig into that. And so I think the beautiful foundational way that the company was built is so different than others because it was born out of
Health too. Yeah. Yeah.
health, creating a solution like from the inside out and seeing the benefits that happened with the olive leaf elixir hydroxytyrosol. The bell goes off in your head and he goes, well, let's apply this to skincare. Let's apply this to other products. And so the company started creating skincare products, face, body, shampoo, and the base of it, all hydroxytyrosol, the olive leaf elixir, no water. And so these products are very potent. They are very active. They last a long time because a little goes a long way. And I'll just touch on this really quick, but that is why this company has expanded so much, and we'll talk about that growth as well. But this company has been all over Europe for 22 years. People have known and loved it. We know that Europe is just always more innovative,
Ahead. Yeah. Yeah.
ahead all of the things. And so he said, I need to bring this to the States. How am I going to do it? And it was during COVID. And he tried, and where they were in the retail space in Europe were high-end spas. And so women who were seeking skincare results, seeking Ayurvedic practices, just inside out, total
Sure.
body wellness. So he brought it over to the States, and he realized that the model that was going to work was direct retail because he could empower women to tell their story through the success they were having. This story made sense to them. How to share made sense to them. And it quickly, truly blew up because A, of the results, and B, because of Waterless. People started going, again, hands up, if here's my $100 bottle of cream, you just told me I'm only getting maybe 30% active ingredients, if that, like no go. So
Yeah.
it spread like wildfire, and that's where we started. I
I
can
want to
keep going.
no, this
Yeah,
is
no.
great. So, or correct me, believe me, believe what Kelly's saying. No, correct me if I'm wrong. So, this hydroxytyrosol, which is this elixir from olive tree leaves, is that the compound that keeps olive trees alive for like that 3,000 years? I mean, is that kind of where we
Yes,
thought, okay, if they're lasting this long, how,
you nailed
obviously,
it.
yes. Okay.
You nailed it. And I think that that's just, the layers that you start to learn when you uncover this. And then it starts to click and make sense because this company is so passionate about working with nature, about working with the things God put on the earth to heal and grow and sustain. And like you said, longevity. When you talk about hydroxytyrosol truly being like the elixir of the olive tree leaves, the elixir of life, the elixir of cell healing. He calls it the perfect cell protector. And it's backed by science. So you can go and look at those elements. You can look under the microscope and see that beautiful green from the olive leaves and you go, okay, that's the base of my product. And then the actives can go on top. And then you see your skin responding in ways that it was designed to do. I know we're going to get into products, but just,
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
I've always been a product junkie. My face can take, putting 27 products on it. I elaborate, but I would love to put cream on cream on cream on cream. And with these products, I don't have to use that much. My routine is like 3 steps. I can do 5, but it is simple out the door. And I've almost found that less is more because you need a drop or two. They
Sure.
last forever, and then you get to see, wow, this is what is possible
And that's
when,
what I found with that green retinol. Like you
yeah,
literally just need a couple drops and it just like covers my whole face.
literally.
And again, not to cut you off, but when I
Yeah,
heard about this hydroxytyrosol, I thought, wait a minute, wait a minute. This is olive leaf extract because in the clinic we sell olive leaf like in other products because of
yeah,
the antibacterial, antifungal, antioxidant properties. And so then I that piqued my curiosity because I thought, okay, so you're using the oil in your products. But I mean, really, its claim to fame also, I'm just going to read a list of other benefits. So it
please.
can supercharge energy, assist with weight reduction. You said it's a great cell protector, which makes sense if it's an antioxidant, right? As we age due to oxidative damage, unfortunately, our skin wrinkles. Just like I said this on the podcast before, but just like how an apple browns and a car rusts, our cells are going to age. So how do we protect our cells against the wrinkling, the sagging, right? Antioxidants, just like this, right? So it can also reduce fat storage in the body, protect our heart, balance blood sugar, lower cholesterol and blood pressure, help our muscles, and obviously soften our skin and refine our pores. So lots of benefits here. So Waterless and also the hydroxytyrosol are two really reasons that sold you, I know,
Yeah.
and everyone on these products. What's the third that I can't pronounce? Arbequina?
Yeah, arbequina oil.
Yeah, tell me.
Arbequina oil. And so that is olive oil. So
Oh,
that
that's
is
literally just a
cold pressed.
synonym for, didn't know that.
Yes, yes.
Learning.
And
Okay.
so that goes back to, gosh, like we get going, and I just want to talk about 10,000 things because there's so many points. But I just want to pause for 1 second because you just listed off all of the benefits of hydroxytyrosol, period, inside out. There's 27 things. Can you imagine how your body will respond if you are drinking that as an internal and putting it on the outside of your skin? That's it. So to go back to the arbequina oil,
Yeah.
in Spain, he has his olive groves. They are protected. This is all on the website. So go and check it out. And I hope to be there someday. And he's so passionate about creating these preserves where these trees can grow and thrive and be nurtured and protected. And even in the fields, they keep their own bees. The bees are organic and
Because
the
there's honey in some of the products, isn't there?
yes,
Okay. I don't know the
yes.
products
There's
too
a
well yet, but
honey
yeah. Okay.
enzyme mask and there's honey and a few other products. And so it just goes back to really that farm to table, sustainable farming to product, leaf to bottle. And when you know that and you know where the source of it is coming from, you feel so comforted, you feel so educated, you feel so empowered because you can go on there and look at the trees, which is really, really cool. And so he has a whole total body wellness approach to his lifestyle, to what he wants to promote in the company, to how he wants women to have an experience, men, women, and children. These products are for everybody, and we'll get into that. But they're actually building the first experience store in LA right now on Abbott Kinney. They will be bringing in a 3,000-year-old olive tree within the store.
Whoa, how
And
do you do
so
that? I don't know.
how do you do that, right? I just saw a lot come out from last week, and they did a Vanity Fair photo shoot, which was just incredible. And they used the consultants, which is just mind-blowing. That just speaks to the testament of how connected he is to this company to put the power in the consultant's hands of telling the story and just embodying them like family, truly.
Sure. Sure.
Um, so yes.
So I want to get to products, but I also it's hard to not when you hear about these old trees, right? It's hard to not reference like even just in the Bible, right?
Yes.
Just the history and I guess I don't know what the word I'm thinking for maybe thinking of is, but just the biblical relevance also like of the health benefits of the olive tree period. So yeah, been around a long time. Yeah.
Been
So
around a long time. Yeah. And I
um
think I love that. Like, I don't want to shy away from that conversation either. We don't have to get into it, but what a beautiful reference as a believer to go to see the way that God is threading his works throughout the world and word and ways to reference what he built through solutions that are literally created by
his
him.
creation. Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Mhm.
Beautiful. Okay, let's get into products. So naturally, I want to ask you, Kelly, if you're a supplement, I mean, a product junkie. I'm sorry, I'm the
Yeah.
supplement junkie. You're the product junkie.
We make a good team.
But I want you to tell me kind of what products they offer, but I also obviously want to get into what's your routine and what are some easy swaps patients can make and yeah, I mean, just kind of how they could start and layer these products. So I want to know everything, but maybe let's just start talking a little bit about the products they have. Most companies have a cleanser and they have an eye cream and they have, serums and moisturizers. So maybe break down kind of obviously we can't get into all the products, but some of your favorite products. And for the listeners, we
Yeah.
do have some of these on the shelf here. And obviously we'll put in links to later to the website so you can, whatever products she talks about, I'll put in links in the show notes as well. So
Yeah.
take it away, Kelly. Tell us about your
You
favorite
bet.
products.
Absolutely. When you go to the website, immediately you'll see products, skin, hair, body, internals, and the first letter of the product will be like F38. F stands for face. B stands for body. I
Sure.
stands for internal. So that's the first thing I always say is it's really easy to navigate by that category, and then you can see all of the offerings. And so the other thing that was unique that I thought, because A, I love skincare, and that's what really piqued me at first. But when I saw that it had wellness opportunities like the Camu Camu IO1, I was blown away. And so we have three major internals, the IO1 Camu Camu, and then the I-70, which is the beauty molecule drinking your skincare. And then there's also a collagen. And so having that from the inside out as a pairing for external was really important to me. I had not had that before. I had not found anywhere that
Sure.
was kind of that skincare plus. So that was really intriguing to me. And then
For
of
the
course,
listeners,
yeah.
Camu Camu is extremely high in vitamin C. So another obviously potent antioxidant. But I
That,
like that I haven't drank this yet, so I need to
oh my gosh, get ready, girl. I tell you what, like if the company literally only had that one product, period, full stop, all day, all day, because my whole family takes it. It's just a little tincture. Take 3 droppers full at a day. And what I have found is our whole family truly avoided illness this winter like I had never, ever seen
That's amazing.
before.
Which one is that?
The IO1.
Oh, one. Okay.
And so that one is one that it can be for the whole family. Yes, that one has really helped with my inflammation. I have seen a huge difference in my face. I'm 46, so I mean, just a bomb went off, and you know what comes with that. But I've
That's how I
really
feel
felt
when I hit 40. I was like, what happened? I mean, I had a baby, but like I aged so bad last year.
And
41.
that
Yeah,
has been
rough.
such a help because I think, not to get into but the world of in your 40s and those words attached to it are big and overwhelming and um feel
And
heavy sometimes. And that has made my body feel light. It has reduced inflammation. It has helped with my joints. It's helped with my movement. It's helped with my bowels. It's helped from every aspect of my health and wellness. And that's what I share with everybody because I don't know one person out there who couldn't benefit
sure,
from reducing their inflammation, period.
sure. Yeah, yeah, totally.
So that one is hands down truly my favorite. For skincare, we have everything that you would want and words that you would understand if you were going to a med spa. Hyaluronic acid. We have vitamin C's. We have some amazing eye products. That has been something that has changed a lot on my face is the area around my eyes. Lighter, brighter, tighter, less puffy, dark circles be gone, all of that. And I was having a conversation with somebody the other day, and they were trying to find products and just like, what's the first step? And so the place I always direct people to go to when they are introduced to olive tree people is the Olive Brain Quiz. So there is a link on the website called Olive Brain Quiz. You can click on it, and it is a 30-second quiz to then serve you up a skincare routine designed for your goals and skin and age, plus an internal. And so that is such a great baseline for people of where to start. And anytime they take that, I say just get one or two products. Start with one or two because, I know the amount of money that we've paid for our products and nobody wants to let any go to waste. So I say find the goal that you have right now and get that product. If you want to brighten and tighten your skin, go and grab the F86 hyaluronic serum and add that into what you're doing today. And as your products run out, start to layer in new ones. Because the second thing, because these are 100% bioactive and you are getting 100% of an active ingredient versus maybe 5 to 30 of what your other products would have been, your skin needs a hot minute to adapt.
Sure.
So I always say start slow, less is more because you're just going to slowly bring your skin into repairing the skin barrier, adapting to the active ingredients, and then being able to respond accordingly. You don't just want to like throw hot lava on your face and expect it to react, that kind of thing. You want to really just warm it up and have it get to know these products.
Sure, sure. I don't know why, but I just think in a stepwise approach, like, what am I going to do first? I'm going to cleanse my skin.
Yes.
Like, so maybe we can walk through that sort of routine or regimen.
Yes.
Tell us about the cleansing gel. That's the one I've used. They may have more than cleansers, but tell me let's start there with cleanser.
Absolutely. Let's go through just your daily routine. I love that. So I'm going to wash my face in the beginning. I wash my face once a day. And I do oil cleanser first. I love that we have an oil cleanser with the arbequina oil that is incredible. And so I like to, and again, I just want to note, like you might wash your face in the shower. You might take 10 minutes to wash your face. Sometimes I like to put the oil cleanser on and then do some gua sha to promote,
Sure.
um, you
Lymph
know,
drainage and yeah, yep.
absolutely. So you can really like, those days where you take an everything shower versus just
Yeah.
a we need to get it done shower. Like that's kind of how
My baby is climbing in the shower. I have 30 seconds.
yeah, like that's a different shower than the everything shower. So if you have a minute to wash your face, like just bless it that you are washing your face. But if I'm telling you my perfect lineup, here it is.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so I will always start with the cleansing oil. I love it. That's going to clean off all your makeup. It just really is very, very gentle. So anybody who has sensitive skin will do very well with a cleansing oil. Next, I do like to do a gel cleanser, and that is going to squeaky clean your face. Like that's going to get into the pores. That is going to take every bit of dirt off so that you can start with a fresh slate to put your products on that are going to give you the benefits that you are looking for.
Will the oil remove your makeup too?
Yes.
Okay,
Mhm.
I haven't used that yet. So just so you could remove your makeup with the oil. Okay, so then you're
Absolutely.
scrubbing, not harshly, but like
Yes.
then you're
Yes.
yeah, using the cleansing gel. So that's F38. Okay.
Mhm. And then your skin's ready for kind of that prep step. And so this is going to be your oils and your serum step. And what you can do with olive tree people is you can choose kind of that lineup of the goal that you have for your skin. Like, I want to tighten and brighten.
Yes,
That's
everybody
vitamin
wants to do
C.
that. So how do we
Yes,
SF86? Yeah. Okay.
absolutely, which I know you have in house. So the F86, I'll give you my top combo. That's what
Okay.
we'll do to start because when you go
Okay.
on there, you're going to see a lot of stuff.
Hmm.
And you're going to go, I don't know what to use first. And so A, that's why you take the
The
quiz.
quiz. Yeah.
And then that's why you connect with us and go like, here's my skin goal. What should I start with? And so what I tell everybody to start with if they are anywhere over the 40 is
We've had lots of birthdays. Yeah. Have you?
yeah, who's had lots of birthdays. You want to hydrate your skin and tighten and brighten, reduce the fine lines. And so that combination is F86, the hyaluronic serum. Why? That has a high and a low level, molecular level of what's going to penetrate your skin deep and on the exterior. So it's going to protect your skin barrier. It's going to help with that plumpness. So that is one thing I really, really, really noticed these last 2 years is my skin was just getting like dull, crepey. I drink all the water. I take all the supplements.
Hmm.
I do all the things. Like I should be a walking, talking billboard of fabulous. Right? And I was like, why can my skin not? I needed a big drink of water. And that's what this is for your skin.
Okay.
And as you use this, that hyaluron embeds into your skin over time and stays there. And so that's where you're going to see that plump, that like baby butt plumpness around everywhere that we want. That's the F86. Very gentle. How to use. I think this is important as well. Like you said, 1 to 2 drops. When you're starting out, I always encourage people go every other day. Start 2 times a week. Mix it in with your moisturizer. Depending on how you're starting with the products, it is very important to have a connection, a mentor, a place to go to find out these questions. And that's why you're such a great resource, Stephanie, is that, you bring these products in that have answers where you can get answers. And so I pair the F86 with the F63. The F63 is our cell active serum. This is just a beautiful luxe serum oil that is going to protect, it's going to help with hyperpigmentation, sunspots. So will the F86. It is really like the baseline product that everybody can be using and everybody can be building on. So that is my second step,
Sure.
a treatment step. That's going to be your serums and oils. And so then you can put on an eye cream. And I want to stop here because I've been using an eye cream since I was 16. I don't know, I probably got like a sample at Von Maur, and started and never looked back. But I know in the beginning, I really talked about like improving the area around my eyes. And so they have an eye elixir, which is our F64. And so that is a liquid. You put it around your eyes, pat it in, but then you can layer on the FO9. I know you have that one as well, and so that is your overall eye cream
What
and
was the
those two
first one?
together.
What did you say? Eye
Yes,
elixir?
the
Is that what you said?
F64.
Okay.
Get
Just
out all
taking
my notes.
notes. Oh yeah,
I
continue,
know.
continue. So you can layer that
I
with
know.
the FO9, which is the eye cream. Yep.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
And so you put your elixir on first, you put your oil on first, and then you're always going to put your cream on top. So that's my next step. And then I choose a moisturizer. We have multiple moisturizers, and so I really encourage you to look at what those are and what the benefits are. They're layered. I know you have a graphic that talks about the weight of each one, and we can talk about that again, but they have light to heavy. So right now, because of the season, I'm putting a light moisturizer on my skin, and I'm actually using the LA Dope line. So within Olive Tree people, we have brands. We have Oliveda, Oliveda is kind of our pharmacy line. That's going to be all our skin care, body care, hair care, internals. But then we have the LA Dope line, and that is a line of 6 or 7 products that incorporate hemp into the product. So it's really good for anybody with sensitive skin. It's very calming, has a beautiful scent of lavender and vanilla. And so I really like that one right now.
Sure. Yeah.
Gives me kind of that lighter, that lighter touch. And so then after that, we also have makeup. And so we have our tint skin, which is the world's first ever hydroxytyrosol based color. Think of it as a tinted serum. I have it on now. I know if you're watching on YouTube or not,
Yeah.
but it's
Yeah.
going to be the foundation that lets your skin see through. And it's really great because it's buildable. You can layer it with different shades up or down for highlighting or contouring. And we are rolling out more makeup this year. We have a full lineup coming.
Amazing. Yeah.
So keep your eyes open there. And that's what I love. I love a one-stop shop. I love that I can get my internals, my skincare, my makeup. And so
So
we
is
were
that
talking
what
about,
you, I haven't used that yet.
yeah.
Is that what you
Yes.
use every day? Do you use anything else or you're just using that? Like,
I'm using that and then I put a little blush on.
sure. Yeah.
And today, just so you know, I did put a really light color around my eyes, just here and for any places that I wanted kind of a highlighter.
Sure.
But
Sure.
I've been I'm not your makeup artist, makeup girl. I'm like your natural looking makeup mama,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the mascara will be a bonus. You know, that
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Some fun color. So it's like your everyday makeup.
Sure.
Um, and yes, and then of course I take the internals daily that we've talked about, and that's been what has helped my body. And I have seen it come through my skin. And I'll be very honest, my skin has changed a lot through this year of adapting to these products, adapting hormonally. You know, I want to add, this isn't going to stop anything hormonally, but it is going to help. So around my cycle, I might have 1 or 2 pop up around my chin. And if I do, I grab the F85 SOS spot treatment, which you said that you
Oh, yeah.
loved.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so this is a solution based company, which I really, really love. They're solving a problem, and the problem was that, you weren't getting the full
Value
available
that you should.
at
Exactly. Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. So,
Thanks for sharing your routine. I do want to go back and highlight a couple more products that I'm sure you
yeah.
have used over time. Thank you for sharing that. But can you, I know I've seen this on social media too. People talk about Botox in a bottle, which I think is the F59, the corrective face serum. So you talked about the F86, which was more for hyaluronic acid.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you talk about F59 and then also F82, which is the green retinol. You talk about those two?
You bet. We'll start with the F59. That's our corrective serum. That is going to have an active ingredient in it called paracress. Paracress is natural in nature, and it is what does the softening of the muscles behind our skin. So
Okay.
that is why people are promoting it as having Botox-like effect. And a lot of people who do use Botox still use this in between their treatments to
Sure.
lengthen the space in between.
Sure.
Um, so people are finding a lot, and that is one of the things that made us go viral, because that's a before and after that everybody is trying to
To
achieve
achieve. Yeah.
and
Yep.
has been for a really long time. And so this gives a solution for anybody who wants that natural route. And it's also giving a value solution to those, like I said, who want to spread out the time in between their treatments.
Sure.
That
Yes.
product is also really good for acne. Anytime acne comes up, that one is a great solution. And then it's also going to tighten, brighten, reduce fine lines. But that one is going to soften the muscles behind the skin in order to kind of release those lines and things that we want to erase.
Good explanation. Okay. All right. The green retinol, I don't know what it is about that. It's just so smooth.
So smooth.
I like that. So talk about that one.
Hmm. You bet. And you hear the word retinol, and I know that comes up in Medi spas, and that's, a word that people hear that equals big results, big transformation. And
Sure.
so this retinol, olive
But
tree
can
people,
be drying and harsh,
that's
and then
right.
you have to be careful with sun exposure, and yeah,
Absolutely.
comes with
And
a little
that
baggage, but can produce
comes with a
results.
little
Retinol
baggage.
absolutely can produce results. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And so Olive Tree People does has have a few retinols. We'll talk about this one because the green retinol is very, very great for sensitive skin. It's going to be great for that person who wants to get into it, but they are a little scared. You don't want to mess it up. And so this uh, is derived from bakuchi oil. And so that's a natural element. I believe it's a nut. Don't quote me on that, but that is how you get those I'm sorry, the retinol
Like
effect.
effects. Yeah.
Yeah, and like you said, you put it on, it's like silk on your skin. Your skin
Mhm.
becomes so, so smooth. That one is so great for hyperpigmentation, sunspots, skin tone, evening. And so the beautiful thing is, you can do something that's called skin cycling. And that is where if you want a few different benefits from a few different bottles, you can cycle them throughout the week. So maybe one day you use the green retinol, the next day you use the F59, and you go back and forth. Maybe you might even incorporate one product.
F86.
That's right.
You can layer them all in a day, or can you not? Or should you
I
not?
say you don't want to put more than two on at a time.
Okay.
And so a serum should be paired with an oil. So, as you know from using products in the past, a serum's going to have kind of that dry, matte finish. And then an oil or the elixirs are going to have a little bit more of that juicy, luscious oil finish, not oily, just that moisture. And so that's where when you start your routine, you do not want to put on a vitamin C and then the hyaluronic acid and then the green retinol. Absolutely. Like it's just too much
Sure.
because the ingredients are so active. So that's why we promote skin cycling. Hey, if you want to get the benefits of multiple products,
Sure.
you're going to want to cycle them out through the week
I like
or
that. Yeah. But you
AM.
could put on, you're saying you could do a serum, an oil, and a moisturizer.
Correct.
Okay, but that's like it. Yeah, okay. One
Yep. That would
of
be a
each.
great that would be a
Yeah.
great routine to have a face wash, a serum plus an elixir and a moisturizer is literally where people start. Because some people are going to just do three steps, And so I always say, let's fit into what you're actually going to do. You're not going to give somebody an AM routine and a PM routine if they said, here's the deal, I wash my face and I put a moisturizer on it. Then we're going to fill those two holes. And I tell you what, some people use very little products and have
Yeah.
extremely transformative results because, again, you don't need a lot. And once your skin feels that how it reacts, you know what to do. Like if you're putting too much on, if you need a little bit more. And so that's why they have this is really cool, a 365-day return policy because he knows as women, you want to try things, you want to get it right. Maybe you started at the wrong time and something might not work for you. Not
Sure.
everything works for everybody. There
Right.
are a few products that I've tried that just are not for my skin. And so you find out what your skin does respond to, and you lean into that. So having that olive brain quiz as a launching point to find out what would
What
be
you need.
recommended.
Yeah. Yeah.
What you need is a great point. And so when you have that, plus the ability to ask somebody, you're really going to dial in what works for you well.
Awesome. Thank you for all of that. I learned that I need the eye elixir and I need to do the skin cycling because I need all
That's
of I
right.
need all of it.
Yeah. And as a
But it's got
busy
to be
mom,
quick too, because I'm
it's
literally
got to be
like
quick.
the
And that's
kid's
the nice
climbing up
thing.
my leg and I'm just like, oh my gosh, or he's
That's right.
grabbed and hid the he hides my products half the time. Okay, so so tell me, obviously you're so passionate, which I love about this company, and who couldn't be like once you hear about it and the health benefits. So yes, I'm in agreement with you on that. Tell us where the market's moving. Like tell us what success the company has had and where the company is going, kind of about this radical growth they've had. So yeah, what do you
Yeah,
think? What's the future? Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. Well, like I said, I've been in it for a year. And prior to that, this started buzzing around. And they had been in the US just maybe 6 months before that. So they did $100 million in business in their second year. And so it doesn't matter what kind of company you are,
That's a
tech.
lot. Yeah.
That's a lot, right? And direct to consumer or not. And so that's why heads were turning so quickly of how is this growth happening? Um, it's because of the products. It's because of the results. And so that's why really they've been expanding and growing as fast as they can. They're up to 50,000 consultants plus, and they've experienced 2,850% growth.
Wow.
I mean, that's bananas,
Yeah.
right? And
Uh-huh.
so we know if we back up for one moment within the beauty space, right? There's been a lot happening there in the last 10 years. Like we've been
Switching
educated.
to clean finally, right?
That's
Yeah. Removing
right,
endocrine
right.
disrupting chemicals. And yeah, yeah.
You can't walk into Sephora or Ulta without a clean section. And that is phenomenal, right? Having options that are cleaner, that take out the harsh preservatives and parabens and fragrance. Like I know you've preached this
Mm-hmm.
since day one. If you are wearing perfume, don't. If you are using
Mm-hmm.
candles, don't. Like if you have anything that plugs into the wall that makes a scent, throw it away, period. It's like the one thing that you can do that will give you such a radical
Hmm.
turn in your body. And so we've learned that over the past 10 years. So where the market is going is literally waterless. They are going to grow to 22 billion by 2031. So this
Have
is,
you already seen other waterless companies? Have you?
you know what? I have
Sorry, I
not.
cut you off again, but yeah, I'm just curious.
Yes, no, but I believe there are a few, and I can't speak to it because I don't know. I
Yeah, yeah,
only
yeah,
have
yeah.
one client who is like, I've heard of Waterless, and I was like, that
Where?
blows
Yeah.
my mind because if anybody should be hearing about it, like I don't want to say it's me, but I'm in a space of
Yeah,
innovation and clean, and so
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just shocked that we have a job to do to tell our clean beauty brother and sisters like what's going on and again it's we're elevating the experience, we're elevating the product through taking out the water that takes up space in 70% of your bottles and replacing it with bioactive ingredients.
Hmm.
So that is where the market is going. And so if you've seen it, I know you said I've seen it all over the place lately. We were in Time Magazine, Vogue last month. They just did the photo shoot for Vanity Fair. Gigi Hadid is a great, great supporter, and he goes back to creating experiences through seeing the faces that are olive tree people. And they have dynamic digital campaigns out right now. So those campaigns are designed to promote what is waterless. And the digital images are so beautiful because they tell that story. Like you said, I'm holding up my hands going, this much water and this much active ingredient to, now full bottles of active bioactive wellness, whether that you're drinking it or in your bottles, makes a huge difference. So you'll see us in Fashion Week. You're going to see us in every high-end magazine across the board. You're going to see us online and just everywhere you're turning. And the point is to educate so that women and men know where they can go to have another layer of education that can point them to products that can really make a difference and really be active in what their goals are.
So the company's blown up is what you're saying.
Yeah, that's the long
It's just a
version.
matter of time.
That's
Yeah,
the short
exactly.
version.
Which
I
is
know. I
incredible.
love
A
these
very,
conversations
yeah.
because you're like, here's the one-liner, and I'm like, tell you the long story.
No, we want to hear the long story. And then I just,
I
I
know.
have the easy job. I just summarize in one
Yeah, you
line.
recap. I love it.
Okay, so what advice do you have? I mean, you've shared so many tips, but what advice do you have to someone who's considering starting with this company? Is it take the quiz? Is that where you think they should start?
Absolutely. 1000%. Take the quiz, connect with us, ask the questions, go to the website. The website has so much information to dig in and poke around and learn and understand and start with one or two products. 1000% get the Camu IO1 because that will reduce inflammation in
Hmm.
your body. You will feel it on the cellular level, and that is one that is going to go deeper than just your skin. And that's why I love it that we are a wellness company versus just a skincare company.
Yep, treat you from the inside out, not just the outside in. Beautiful.
Absolutely.
All right, Kelly, tell us where listeners can find you.
Absolutely. I am on Facebook and as Kelli Weber, Kelly with an I and Weber with one B. And I am on Instagram at Kelly and Bloom, Kelly Kelli dot in dot BLOOM. And I share on there everything from my family to faith to art to olive tree people. It's, like you said in my bio, I really encourage people to say yes to multiples, like add in what you love. It's something that I try to show a little bit of my lifestyle, a little bit of things that I love in conjunction with what I do for health and wellness.
Awesome. Okay. Top longevity tip. If you had one, if you only could pick one, what's your top longevity tip?
Oh my gosh, it's going to be Jesus. It's something that's changed my life, and I don't know where I would be without it. And so my faith is really, really important to me. And it really goes into every layer of my life to find that connection that's going to sustain you for now into forever so that you can walk in the goodness that he made you in. And that is so freeing, right? That is so freeing when you're in a space of the world that is looking only on the surface, right? Only at our face, only at who we are. So if we know who we are in him, it's going to be able to take us through everything. And so that'll be my top one. And then I will say that is a layer of what I do in my life. And I know we talked about that a lot. And that's something that you are so good at is giving people layers of life. And so if we can know who we are in Jesus and then build our layers of life on top of that, sky's the limit.
So eloquently said. You're so authentic, Kelly. You speak so well, and I love
Thank
it. So thank you so
you.
much.
I love you. You
Yeah.
are so welcome. I love these conversations because, I think we're at a point in time, and tell me what you think of this, where we are melding people to get solutions and share solutions from practitioner to layman
Hmm.
to taking the tools that you're finding as the consumer and having something that you can share with others and not have to be siloed or segmented
Hmm.
and everything starts working as one. And I know that's
Hmm.
that's really the base of what you do, everything working as one to create longevity
I
inside your body and outside of your to roll into your life.
I
So,
100% agree. I mean, especially with this whole Maha movement, like I used to literally be
mm,
the charlatan in town, the weird one doing the weird
yeah,
things. And now you're talking about they put Camu, or they're putting hydroxytyrosol in skincare. And it's like it's all coming full circle. There has
yes,
just been this kind of awakening. I guess it's a great
yes.
awakening and mesh and blend and like you're saying, layer of yeah, health and wellness. And yeah, for me, I welcome that because now I feel like I'm just not flying solo anymore. Now it's like
Mm,
so many people's eyes are being opened and they support. I don't feel so alone. I guess that's what I've come to, I don't
absolutely.
know.
which
determine.
is
And
a big
yeah,
deal when you're
back to
out there.
community again. Yeah.
That's
Yep.
right.
Yep.
Like you said, 10 years ago, it starts with mac and cheese and no Johnson and Johnson yellow body wash. And then you just find out one thing and you change. You find out one thing and you
And you
change. You
can't
find out one.
unknow once you have been educated, you can't
That's right.
unknow what you know. And so, yep. And then you're convicted and passionate. And
Yeah.
yes, that's where this
Yes,
goes. Yes.
that's
So
where this goes. So buckle up.
there will
And
be
here we
more
go.
to come from Kelli. We have some ideas for the listeners here, more
Yes,
ideas to be
I
shared.
love
But
it.
thank you, Kelli, again for coming on the show today, sharing your passion, your knowledge, your experience. I really hope listeners give Olive Tree People a try and they take the quiz. So this was wonderful. Thanks for coming on the show.
Absolutely. Thank you.